Hello everybody, my name is David. Thank you for watching Crazy Narcissist Ex-Girlfriend. Today I wanted to do a video just to kind of help you guys a little bit to kind of clear the fog, so to speak. I hope you guys all know what that, well, I don't hope, but I think you guys all know what that means. Kind of clear that foggy feeling out of your head. I always thought about it as like, to me it was kind of like floating around in my body too, and not really feeling like myself, not really feeling like me. And it always happens right after that relationship is over. And it's always that last one, isn't it? So I've talked a lot before about why it's that way, or at least why the last one is the worst. And I don't want it, this is not what this video is about, but just to briefly kind of let you guys know that we have childhood issues and we kind of go through life and they don't really surface until we enter a relationship with someone that we really like, and it's intimate and close. And the closer and the more feelings we have for this person, the more we start attaching to this person, is when our issues surface. And especially when you're in a relationship with somebody who is abusive, they will exploit those childhood issues, won't they? So after this relationship is over, we feel horrible. And that is your childhood issues surfacing, and it's a lifetime of pain that you might be having that you don't realize until now. But anyways, okay, so this is what you can do. I'm going to tell you guys what you can do to feel totally better. I'm not kidding. Right away too. I just want you guys to understand what's kind of going on in your head. Think of this kind of as an addiction, because it's so similar. It's amazing. Drugs raise and lower things in our head, in our mind, our brain, I'm sorry. And what they do is they raise and fall, and that creates a euphoric feeling, and we love that high that we get. And basically that after a while, that stimulation isn't enough. And when it goes away and it stops, it feels horrible. Now, this is true with drug addicts, okay? But you don't need to introduce a chemical. And what I mean by that is it's not just a drug or alcohol that does that to you. So I want you guys to know about gamblers. And I live here in Las Vegas, so everybody kind of knows about this. But people outside of Las Vegas don't know this. And basically, a gambler goes through the same thing as a drug addict. So a gambler starts gambling, and they get the highs, the same exact highs as you do from drugs. And when they stop playing it, they want it and they need it, because the stimulation levels go down, and they eventually go down till where the gambling isn't quite enough for a while. And when you take that away, when you take that gambling away from them, from the gambler who is really dependent on it, their body goes through the same withdrawals as they do from drugs, as a drug addict does from withdrawing from drugs, or an alcoholic does withdrawing from alcohol. It's the same effect on the person's brain. So when you're in this relationship that really stimulates your brain, and then it stops and goes away, it's the same feeling, okay? It's very, very similar feeling. Now, one thing I want you guys to know is as you're growing up as a child, you have neurons, you have brain cells that start creating a network. When you get to about adolescence, that's when your brain really starts forming into an adult. And it really starts changing. And it's what it does is the things that you focus on, the things that you do when you're in adolescence, your brain changes all of a sudden and starts focusing only on the parts and the things that you do in your adolescence. So it makes you better at what you do, and it increases productivity. So your brain is forming a neurological pathway. It's forming an architecture. Okay? So your mind moving in motion, and what your mind wants to focus on is what your brain puts all your energy into. And it creates an architecture, okay? When you're in this relationship, you are creating an architecture. Your brain is becoming focused and your brain changes so that your mind can focus and do better at what you do, so that you're always doing, it's what you're always doing. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is when this relationship ends, first, it's okay to isolate a little. It's okay, and you got to mull over this relationship. You've got to learn what the hell happened. You're not going to get it from them. You're not going to get any answers from them, any explanations. You need to find out what kind of people these are and find out what they were doing, find out why you were in that relationship. Mull over it. Grieve over your loss. Think about it. Talk about it. Don't listen to therapists that say don't talk about it anymore. Don't listen to your friends that say get over it. Don't listen to your family. It just says just move on. This is up to you. You need to do this. Trust me, if you don't do this, this turns into anger and depression later in life. Or soon. Okay, it doesn't have to be that much later. So after this relationship, grieve, mull over it. Figure out what happened, learn, okay? Now, eventually, if you just stay, I say this a lot, imagine the person that just, after this relationship is over and their brain works a certain way that it's been working for this many years, and it's stuck in massive fear mode and alert mode, because it is. That's what PTSD is. It's like soldiers in war, and when they come home after the war, their brain is still stuck in that mode. Okay, that war mode. So after your partner leaves you, that has gone down. All your levels in your brain that are excited by that person, like a drug, have gone down, and you're stuck at home, isolating. Okay, and you're just thinking the same way, using your neurological pathway that you always use. But now that person's gone, and you're down, you're sad. Okay, what you need to do is, after you're done mulling over it, stimulate yourself. Because if you have somebody that sits in the corner of the room, a dark room with a bottle of liquor in their hand, getting drunk every day, not answering their phone, not answering their door, not calling their friends, not seeking therapy or talking to somebody or getting any kind of help or not learning about what happened, they're just sitting there wallowing, and they're missing the person that they're with. They're totally feeling bad. They're feeling down. They're trying not to think about their sadness. They're not, all of these things is going to keep you stuck right where you are. So the best thing you can do is stimulate your mind. Okay? Your mind is your brain in motion. Stimulate that thing. What I've done with other clients who have been doing not good at all. Some of the clients I've had that have done the worst. One of them, I remember, and I've done this with others, but one of them, I was able to tell him to travel. He had the ways and the means. He could afford it, and he could stop his company and have somebody else run it while he's gone. He just took off. He took off, and he's like, where should I go now, David? And I told him, go over here. And he goes, where should I go now? And I'm like, go over here. He was loving it. He went from night and day. Instantly felt better. Instantly. Now, what he did is he took himself out of that neurological pathway. He totally changed everything that his mind knew. Okay? And so what happened is his alert part of his mind, his fears, right, weren't there. He was out of that environment. So his brain wasn't looking for that kind of fear. His brain was now in the tropics looking for danger. But the brain doesn't know, his mind doesn't know any danger in that area, so there's no danger. So his mind relaxed, and his brain felt better. All the stress is gone. But the biggest thing he did is he went to a new place with new people and did all brand new things. And he began creating this new architecture, this new neurological pathway. Okay? His mind created this neurological pathway in his brain. And everything lowered. His stress levels lowered. And the stimulation raised good things and good hormones in his brain again. Do you see? So it replaced that drug It replaced that person. It replaced the gambling with a natural, good high. And he enjoyed himself and he had so much fun. And he stayed out long enough so when he went back, he didn't feel like he did before he left. He didn't go right back into it. So he stimulated his mind. And his mind began creating new pathway, doing other things. I hope that makes sense. This works, I'm telling you. Night and day difference. You could be at the worst you've ever felt. And you might have some social anxiety about even leaving. I've done this so many times to people. Go out to a no stress, low stress place with somebody that doesn't stress you out and just enjoy yourself. And I'm telling you, you will feel immediately better. Immediately better. And that should tell you that a lot of this is just in your head. And that should tell you that you can change how you think and how you feel. You have control over this, okay? I hope that helps. Please go down below, as always, and ask me any questions you want, and I'll answer them, okay? Vote for the video. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you think. Give me a comment. Ask me any questions, I'll answer them. And most of all, love yourself first, okay, guys? Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye. Danny Dog Productions.